It is Thursday, y'all. You know what time it is. 8 p.m. Stop my timer. 8 p.m. Thursday, ALLVERSE Thursdays. I'm pumped up tonight. I'm super excited. I love that track that Doug Infinite played, actually produced for me, that you heard at the opening. So shout out to Doug Infinite. Yeah, it's the 21st. It's post inauguration day. And I know, I don't know about you all, but I know I was going through a whole series of emotions over the last couple of days, and even still today. You know, part of it was just, wow, is this really happening? And I found myself just releasing in a way that I didn't even know that I had all this stuff pinned up. And so I just want to say thank you to the universe for giving me an opportunity to release some of the stuff that I had been pinned up. So welcome to ALLVERSE Thursdays. Tonight is going to be a really fascinating show. We've got an artist. He's just, I mean, so talented. We'll talk about it in a minute. She's so talented in so many ways, and she's been a part of my life and my story since I was about 13 years old. So we'll get back to that in a bit. But first, I want to talk about, I don't know if anybody had a chance to see the Youth Poet Laureate. Actually, she's the first Youth Poet Laureate. And I thought she did a pretty amazing thing yesterday. One, she's 22 years old. She's a sister. I think she graduated. She's an alumna of Harvard University. She's out on the West Coast now. But I thought earlier that day when I was saying, I remember when Obama's first inauguration, he had Maya Angelou, do a piece. And I was like, I wonder if they'll have anything like that. And little did I know that we would have the National Youth Poet Laureate. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to bring her to the screen, right? And for those that didn't get a chance to see her, I want to let this ride for a second. This is Amanda.
Mr. President, Dr. Biden, Madam Vice President, Mr. Emhoff, Americans, and the world. When day comes, we ask ourselves, where can we find light in this never-ending shade? The loss we carry, a sea we must wade. We've braved the belly of the beast. We've learned that quiet isn't always peace. In the norms and notions of what just isn't always just is. And yet the dawn is ours before we knew it. Somehow we do it. Somehow we've weathered and witnessed a nation that isn't broken, but simply unfinished. We, the successors of a country and a time where a skinny Black girl descended from slaves and raised by a single mother can dream of becoming president, only to find herself reciting for one. And yes, we are far from polished, far from pristine, but that doesn't mean we are striving to form a union that is perfect. We are striving to forge our union with purpose, to compose a country committed to all cultures, colors, characters, and conditions of man. And so we lift our gazes not to what stands between us, but what stands before us. We close the divide because we know to put our future first. We must first put our differences aside. We lay down our arms so we can reach out our arms to one another. We seek harm to none and harmony for all. Let the globe, if nothing else, say this is true. That even as we grieved, we grew, that even as we hurt, we hoped, that even as we tired, we tried, that we'll forever be tied together, victorious, not because we will never again know defeat, but because we will never again sow division. Scripture tells us to envision that everyone shall sit under their own vine and fig tree, and no one shall make them afraid. If we're to live up to our own time, then victory won't lie in the blade, but in all the bridges we've made. That is the promise to glade the hill we climb if only we dare it, because being American is more than a pride we inherit. It's the past we step into and how we repair it. We've seen a force that would shatter our nation rather than share it, would destroy our country if it meant delaying democracy. And this effort very nearly succeeded. But while democracy can be periodically delayed, it can never be permanently defeated. In this truth, in this faith we trust, for while we have our eyes on the future, history has its eyes on us. This is the era of just redemption. We feared it at its inception. We did not feel prepared to be the heirs of such a terrifying hour, but within it we found the power to author a new chapter, to offer hope and laughter to ourselves. So while once we asked, how could we possibly prevail over catastrophe? Now we assert, how could catastrophe possibly prevail over us? We will not march back to what was, but move to what shall be, a country that is bruised but whole, benevolent but bold, fierce and free. We will not be turned around or interrupted by intimidation, because we know our inaction and inertia will be the inheritance of the next generation. Our blunders become their burdens. But one thing is certain: if we merge mercy with might and might with right, then love becomes our legacy and change our children's birthright. So let us leave behind a country better than the one we were left. With every breath from my bronze pounded chest, we will raise this wounded world into a wondrous one. We will rise from the gold-limbed hills of the West. We will rise from the windswept Northeast, where our forefathers first realized revolution. We will rise from the lake-rimmed cities of the Midwestern states. We will rise from the sun-baked South. We will rebuild, reconcile, and recover in every known nook of our nation, in every corner called our country. Our people, diverse and beautiful, will emerge battered and beautiful. When day comes, we step out of the shade of flame and unafraid. The new dawn blooms as we free it. For there is always light, if only we're brave enough to see it, if only we're brave enough to be it.
Amanda Gorman, I mean, yes, moving, very powerful, very powerful. And, you know, I normally open up with a poem and a prayer, but I deferred to the first youth poet laureate to open up the show. It's ALLVERSE Thursdays. It's 8 p.m. It's a little bit after 8 p.m. We see you joining us. If you're on Facebook or Twitch or YouTube, welcome. We love you to be active in the chat. We see we got a few people in the chat. Coco, welcome. Thank you. Hi. Thanks for all the emotes. Yes, Amanda was skilled Facebook user. Absolutely. And, you know, it made me think of our guest tonight when I was listening to the youth poet laureate. And where the money resides. Okay, I got you. It made me think of our guest tonight, because it was a proud moment for me as a brother, seeing a sister just, you know, not that much older than my daughter, giving the inauguration presentation. And I don't know if she ever dreamed of that. As a matter of fact, in her poem, she says she dreamed of being the president one day, and yet she's here reciting for one. And so we're talking about dreams and, you know, talent and youth, and the importance of art. And this really reinforced to me the importance of ALLVERSE, because what we do is we're here to bring you artists to share their verses, right? And whether that be poets, a song, movies, authors and books, all sorts of verses, because sharing verse is a ancient tradition. It is a high esteem. Hey, Janine Griffin, good to see you. Welcome to the show. And to be able to do that in a way that captivates the audience it informs them, it engages them, it empowers them. That is a gift. And the guest that we have tonight has those gifts, right? She is an author. She's a dancer. She's a choreographer. She's a boss of her own company, probably several companies that she's had. She's worked in the nonprofit industry, which is a space that's near and dear to my heart for many years, and helping to help smaller nonprofits or turn around nonprofits. And she's the author of a brand new book. She's the author of a brand new book. And so what I like to do is I like to bring to the screen my dear friend, Yvonne Malaika Orr. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hi, good to see you. Hi, everybody.
Yeah, good to be seen. It's good to be seen. So let me just switch that banner. It has been some years since we've been together in this kind of way. Congratulations on the book and welcome, right?
Thank you. Thank you.
Somebody said they didn't get a chance to see it all. Awesome. We're glad that you got a chance to. Yeah, her village is here. Absolutely. Her village
yes,
is here.
And I like the in quotes here. Hey,
yes,
village.
yes, yes. And so, hey, if those that we see, we got some new followers on Twitch. Thank you, aka Bhutan. If I'm saying it wrong, please just charge it to my head, not to my heart. Michelle D. Jackson, thank you for the follows. If you're on Twitch, it is really a fun place because we get to do things. We have some personal emotes. You can get when you subscribe to the channel. You get announcements when we're going to be live, so you don't have to remember, even though it's every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern time. But you'll get an announcement, and you can actually check out other nice things, other nice DJs and all sorts of. Twitch is really an amazing space, and it's continued to grow, particularly during this time frame. So thank you wherever you're chiming in from. Thank you. A cat about town. Got it. Thank you. Thank you for the phonetics. The phonetics helps me out. almost TJ. That's my brother. Shout out to my brother. So, Yvonne, let me just get a little background to the audience for those that don't know you. So our ads normal. Yes, we play ads. That's how we generate revenue at the beginning with the ads. But thank you for joining us. But they shouldn't run throughout the show. They only come on in the beginning when you first jump on. Yes, there goes some of the emotes that they call them that we have there. Yes. AKA About Town is just laughing.
About Town. It just happens to look like, because her name is Katrina, Cat for short.
Got it.
And she's everywhere around Chicago. All the virtual events since we've been shut down. But if you want to be in the know, A Cat About Town, we'll talk about what's going on. So thanks for joining, Katrina.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. Somebody says you're looking beautiful tonight. So love this energy in the chat, because it's you and I in the studio. We're talking to an audience. We don't see them. We can't see their reactions. So the chat is how we get to know what they're feeling. And so thank you for the energy in the chat. We're looking forward to staying live, staying active. If you haven't come over to Twitch, switch on over to Twitch. Have some fun with us on Twitch. If you're on Facebook because it's convenient for you, share it. Share it to your page and let some other folks check it out. ALLVERSE Thursdays. Now, the young lady that I just introduced is many things, right? She's a mother. She is born in the same year that I was born, which means that our parents were involved with the Black Power movement, revolutionary. So the spirit of a revolutionary is in her DNA, it's in her genes. Her parents were very active in the Black Power movement. And we like to just acknowledge and take a moment just to acknowledge and recognize their presence and their gift to us, and in the form called Yvonne Malaika Orr. Thank you. Awesome. So I talked a little bit about the spirit of a revolutionary, that kind of being in your genes, right? But can you just give the folks a brief kind of update on before we jump into the book, right? You've been doing art for a very long time. When we say art, we're talking about also dancing, singing, choreographing, right? How did you get started as an artist?
Well, first, I just want to do a brief dedication to my sister, Cherie Garrett DeBrest. Happy Earthright. Also, my roommate from Hampton, and then a tribute to my dad, most recently entered into the ancestral realm for tonight, and certainly to my mother. So I got my start. My mom got me my start on Broadway as a little girl in Porgy and Bess, and toured actually around the world. So it's how I first started earning my wings. Couple of airlines, Continental, Eastern, they used to actually give you wings. So I started out on Broadway doing theater, Hey Esteban, and continued into radio, film, short films. I've done television before I did Sesame Street. I was coming up for a while before my mother decided to put me in school after the incident with my dad in 78. So Rodney Allen Rippey and I were in competition together. So I've done Sesame Street. I did a lot as a child. And then I took a very, very long break. I danced, came up under Sammy Dyer School of the Theater under the tutelage of Shirley Hall Bass, masterful woman, and revisited it, came back around to choreography. So now I do cotillions and I set pieces, whether it is liturgical with churches or full-on dance companies through poetry. I just have fun, have a good time.
I'm lost for words. I've known you for, I'm not going to give you an age, but I've known you for more decades than most. I had no idea that you were in Porgy Best and Sesame Street.
Yes. I get outed sometimes, but yeah.
Well,
I did a couple of electric company shows. Lots of journalism types of things in high school, Face to Face with Vernon Jarrett. Russ Meek used to have a show, Frederica Meek's dad. So I would co-host that. I still co-host it from time to time today.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So, so we talked about emotes. That's my emote, y'all. That's me with the headphones saying clip that. And if you're on Twitch, if you clip that, what that means is a little icon that looks like a film. It says clip it, and it'll save 30 seconds, and you can share that 30 seconds. So you're gonna want to clip a lot of stuff tonight. So clip that.
Mino.
Yeah,
is that our Mino?
Yeah, Big Me. What's up,
hey.
brother? Yeah. And somebody remembers you from Sesame Street. Wow.
Oh my God.
So, I'm appreciative of you sharing generously today. And like I said, I've known you for quite some time, and I know there's so many layers, and I would love to get to all of them, and I'm sure we won't be able to get to everything. So we might have to have you back for a part two, if that's okay with you. But that being said, we haven't given them a verse. They haven't had a chance to hear some of the verse.
No.
Let's go ahead and hear a verse.
One piece that's in the book is called Salt Blocks, Sandcastles, and Sage. It comes from me being on the Move compound. We would actually have salt blocks that we would cook our fish on. They're wooden blocks, right? So this is, the milkman came today, left my bottles at the curb, promised that my milk wouldn't curd, but he told me some secrets on getting my butter to churn. Made me think that I could burn in the kitchen this time, but my flavor wasn't spicy. Had my stuff a little bland, and I thought I needed a different kind of milkman to hold my hand through the process of trusting the process. So I called on to a different source to prevent me from trying to force this magnificent opportunity to be cooking with fluidity. Meanwhile, my milk has soured. I felt devoured and swallowed up by the magnitude of it all. After all, I was a simple girl on some salt blocks, making sandcastles with a little bit of sage, and I tried to put some oomph into my swirls and in my sauce, and I just needed a little bit off of that to stick. What was this trick to get me to just tick on this life a little longer? Got to get to making some more salt blocks, sandcastles, and got to burn me some sage. That's that piece.
Ooh, that's that piece. Yeah. I told y'all she was talented. Yes. Michelle, yes. Thanks for the follow. Thank Michelle Fire. She was putting it up before you even hardly got started. Yes, you say you are the ultimate round the way. Reese, have a good time. Awesome. Bravo.
All right.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, and what's the name of that place called? Salt Blocks?
Salt blocks, sandcastles, and sage.
Okay. Salt blocks, sandcastles, and sage. Now,
Yes.
I'm sure there's some symbolism besides the fact that that's what's it called when all the words rhyme? All the words start with the same letter? Alliteration? Yeah. I'm sure there's something besides just alliteration in the salt box, sandcastles, and sage. Tell us why did you choose that piece? You got a lot of pieces. So why did you choose that piece to share with us tonight?
As someone said, the roundaway girl with the good time girl, it is relevant and relative to me just feeling childlike inside. Some of the best times in my life were when I built sandcastles, and I really used to love how they would cook natural foods in heated situations on salt blocks, and I do sage daily, if not, monthly in certain situations. So how do I bridge my spirit with my desire to progress and not feel like I'm less than because I'm not moving in the way I want to, meaning my flavor, my spicy ain't right. Where do I go for leniency and help? How do I do that? So that's where it comes from.
Wow. Yes, Samuel Martin, Greens Dolphin, another dolphin in the house. Now, Mean says he needs some, I don't know what that, some 5 knives to read to my 3 girls. So you have a book out, right?
Yeah, I have a few books out, but I have one.
Right. You got
we're
one that dropped today. Yeah. So I know you want to do some giveaways. Yeah, you want to do some giveaways, right? So do you have one that people can see a picture?
Have a book?
Yeah.
Let's see how we do this here.
Because
you mean like to hold up? No, this is exclusive. You are the book launch.
This is the book. Y'all heard it right here. Clip that.
Yes, you are the book launch.
Yeah.
And they can pre-order at yourlife.com.
Okay.
It drops on Amazon after midnight tonight. Malika Soul, I Am Healing. I'm going to stop my cam. You can see a little touch of the cover.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah. Love that. I Am Healing. So you want to give away some books. Right now, I'm showing 21 viewers. I know 21 is your number. And you said you want to give away some books. Now, how you want? Let's give something away. You share that awesome piece. We got folks in the chat that are just flaming in the chat. Right. How you want to do this first giveaway?
Well, actually, I'm spirit driven. Okay. And so the universe dropped these 21 people into our world. These 21 people are the 21.
Perfect. So send an email to you at
send an email. Yes.
To the website. Y'all see it going across the bottom. You want a free copy of I Am Healing, send an email to www.yourlife.com to get your free copy. Yeah. So that was easy.
Yeah, we did randomly capture everyone that joined. So we have that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and it's January 21st. Yes, it is.
Yes.
So that's your number, right? 21 is your number?
Yes, it is. You were Blackjack, baby.
I love it.
Yes, it is.
It's working. Hey, when we first talked about being on the show, I told you that you said, 121, 21, that's my number. I said, okay. And I wouldn't, I like to play Keno sometimes here in Maryland. And I played it, and I got about $100 from 21, man. So it's my number 2.
That's what's up.
It's my number 2. So, I mean, we kind of condensed a lot. So we got a few minutes. So let me just back up for a second because,
my mom's bestie is on. I want to say hi, Dr. Cright.
Yeah.
Hey, Renee. Hi, Titi. Thank you.
That's mom's bestie?
Everything. Yeah.
That's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about Christina. Christina
Chuckles May.
Christina Chuckles May. Now, if you all have never met Christina in person, I'll tell you that. Yeah, thank you for that. Congratulations on getting a free copy of your book. Gift one to someone. Absolutely. Gift one to someone else. Somebody that knows. Can we have somebody put in the do they order the book through your website? Is that what they order?
Can order through the website. It is secure. I know the little icon isn't up, but when you go in, it's just a brief form. You can check out through PayPal.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, gift one. So you got one for free. Gift one to somebody else. Let's get 100 books tonight. At least
And
100
like I said,
books.
all right, claim it.
Yeah,
Yes,
why not?
let's do that.
Yeah. So I met you as a teenager, you know. So for those who all don't know, we all went to high school together. Several with the young folks. You see the Dolphins on here. And Yvonne and I, we were, I don't know if I was her first love because she was a little advanced than me, but I'm gonna say I was.
Okay, look, I'm gonna stop it. We had this conversation. I am tired of having it.
That's my show. I get a little bit of leeway.
No, I'm not ashamed. You know, we're talking about age and stages here.
Well, let me just
Women, we have to embrace where we are. Right. So at 51, yes, it happens to be that this man was my first love and first everything. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, that not quite 50 years later, but many decades later, we come to a place where we're able to come back together, right? And I think that speaks to the power of authenticity, the power of self-awareness, the willingness to acknowledge, like, you know, I wasn't ready for love. You know, I was young, dumb, and full of all sorts of distractions. There was a space when we reconnected years later as an adult, to still connect as friends, because there was a bond, there was a foundation there. And so I say that to folks to say that there's nothing like a true bond of authenticity, right? Because even through the different challenges that you may have, you can always come back and you know at the essence who a person is. And so I want to talk a little bit about the essence of who you're. Hey, Camino says my mama was strict as hell. Yes, she was.
Yes, as was mine. They did have that in common.
Yes, she was. But I think what we learned from this growing up with the parents we had and the way that they grew up was to have a space for high standards and yet have a space for grace. Mm-hmm. Right. And in that, I had to learn to find my own grace and find my own way in life. Right. And so she helped you to be a Black professional. That's awesome, Steve.
Thank you, Steve.
Samuels. Yes, yes. Coco says, spill the tea. Well, we will be sharing tea, but not tea as in gossip, but tea as in testimony or tea as in triumph. You know, don't get me started, because I am a preacher. I am an ordained minister for 2 years now. Some of y'all probably didn't know that. But what I want to say is that you found a way to express yourself in art, and you had a lot going on in your life, but you kind of kept art to its, you know, in a place that supported you. So tell us a little bit around. No, we didn't even talk about your journey in healing. I want to spend like the last 30 minutes on that, right, on the healing journey. But just tell us a little bit more around the space that art, what's possible with art, particularly you're a little Black girl growing up in Chicago, right? Maybe a lot of folks don't even know that there's things like what you talked about available to Black people. How do you get to do something like that? Is that you just, hey, you put your kids in it, or how does that work?
I mean, the space is different for everyone, but creativity lives, you know. It is a breathing entity. And to me, art is life. It's not like something that I kept up with or something. If I do not have art in my life, meaning all forms of it, I need music, I need movement, I need literature to help me be the best me that I can be and function when I'm on the other side, masking or doing whatever it is I need to do to keep roofs over my head or pay bills or, you know, eat. But if I don't have that ability to express, I'm almost afraid of what the world will look like with an Yvonne in it that does not have art in her life. I can't imagine it. And so when you have children, milling about at home and doing different things, sometimes that art has to be drawn out. Sometimes it's a form of discovery. And then sometimes it even has to be redirected. You know, in today's world, everybody wants to be a rapper, you know, or a ball player or some sort. But there are multiple forms of art. And one of my gifts is writing. And I'm very proud to say, we just got our announcements out fresh today. I didn't know it was coming out today. 6 people that I wrote grants for, they got funded at the entire amount that they asked for. So over $1.7 million in grants was just awarded to nonprofit agencies in the Chicagoland area because of your consulting group's writing. That's something to be proud of. That's work. That's community. Art is life. I'm with Coco.
Yeah, art is life. I love that. Congratulations, by the way, to the nonprofits that were awarded the grants. And I love the way that you described the way that art really allowed you to explore yourself, not only from, I need something else to kind of keep me balanced, given all the stuff that happens in the world, in addition to, it gives me a space to develop my full self in a way that without it, I may not have done so. So, yes, Seven Martin, thank you. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And so, when I think about you as an artist, right? For folks that don't know, Yvonne likes to win, right? And she's always, if she's on your team, she's going to try to figure out a way that you can win. I promise you that. So, that's why they, in high school, when we had the pom-poms and the cheerleaders, they were, all city. They were the best in the city, right? And the dance corps, I mean, people would come from all sorts of high schools to see the dance show.
Guys and dolls.
Guys and dolls, right? And that continued on in your life, right? Because I've always felt, as long as I've known you, have been connected to a team. And so you got a lot of your team on here supporting tonight. But I want to talk about, because you said something around masks, right? And so I can certainly relate to masks. And really, I don't know if it was being afraid, unable, or unwilling to really meet the real me. And what I did find is that I got good at at least I thought I got good at wearing masks until it all crashed, right? And so for me, that was, looked like depression. It looked like physical health really declining. It looked like destructive behavior. It looked like not wanting to live, even though I wasn't being suicidal, but I wasn't doing things to be long living. A long life, I don't even know long life, or if that's a word, I just made it up. But tell me about the, what was the effect of because you're healing, you said I'm healing. So what do you need to heal from?
So before I answer that, I want to say deuces to Coco. Coco Ulysses is the editor of both I Am Light as well as I Am Healing, but masterful percussionist, composer, and now being featured in the Havana Jazz Festival going on right now. So thank you for taking that time. I'll see you later, sis.
Coco, yeah. Shout out to you. We have to get you on ALLVERSE sometime.
Yes, yes. Also a poet. She's some of everything.
Okay.
I Am Healing began with me trying to get my dad out, get him released. He's a political prisoner, 41 and a half years. And we were at the tail end and I was getting tired. I spent my life doing this work. He gets out in January 2018. I'm frantic, but I realized he's out now. My mom had passed in 2014. What do I do? What am I worth? Who am I? And a very, very a hard marriage with domestic violence. The mental, verbal anguish without the physical scars are just as deep and hard. And trying to figure out how somebody like me got here, what happened. And so I wrote, I spoke, I shared openly, much more so than I was used to. Social media, different things like that. And the feedback on how I was helping people heal is what kept me going and how I got here to I Am Healing.
I just want to take a minute to recognize and acknowledge what you said. It's really powerful. And you said you haven't always wanted to be open, and I know I can relate and resemble that as well. But but I thought that it was protecting me, right? But I didn't learn until later that it was really hindering me and hindering the others that love me, because in their doing so, I didn't allow people to love me like they wanted to love me. I didn't allow space or give people permission to heal for themselves, because I wouldn't share what was going on. Janine Griffith, so strong, Quinn, absolutely.
Thanks, Bess.
So I would. Can you share an excerpt from I Am Healing? Are you able to share an excerpt with us from that?
Yeah, he is. This is He Is Part 2. He Is Part 1 is the upliftment of a Black man and what he is for the community. He Is Part 2 is what he ain't. All right.
Okay. He is Part 2.
Right. Oh, he is your brother, yet he doesn't pick you up when you're heavy. He is your father, but nowhere to be found. As you need a helping hand to support you to steer those handlebars properly in the right direction so you don't fall, so you don't flail, he is a fairy tale. Look here, friend. He takes pieces of your soul when he takes you out, rapes you when he gets you inside, is charming and most definitely not a prince, and he sheds his snake skin to show you his shapeshifter ways. That's who he is. He's a self-proclaimed Asahoho made up of a Kalamalu, which is here to come and save the day. He thinks he's a superhero. His cape gets caught every time while trying to save face shortly after your charm bracelet has broken into little pieces and you have lost your motherfucking charm. He will bring it out of you because that's part of who he is. Mind your manners, dear. Stay on the UK side of things before you cross the tracks and your bugetto starts to show. That's who he is, and that's that piece.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, so talented. Look, new book, I Am Healing. Thank you for sharing the truth, Queen, from the Undug You Foundation. Yes, absolutely. Thank you for sharing your truth. I Am Healing is out today, dropping right now. Go to the website, right? www.yourlife.com and order your copy now. Matter of fact, order 2 copies. Buy one for somebody else. Gift them. I know you may know somebody in your life that needs to heal. Yeah. Now, I've known Cheryl since I was in the 4th grade. We went to grammar school and high school together. What's up, Cheryl? Yes, Billy listened to the whole thing and said, hi, TT Yvonne. Awesome.
Hi, baby.
Awesome, yeah. Cat About Town loves, she got all of those hand emotes working.
Yes, Moyenda back with the flavor. That's how we started.
Okay. That's Allende Cartman, fantastic. Thank you.
That is the executive director of Real Men Charities doing their thing all across the globe. Real Men Cook. 30
is that right?
Years.
Real Men Cook is a part of Real Men Charities. Okay, awesome.
Yes.
Allende Cartman, thank you for your leadership. And I actually sit on a nonprofit board called Board Strong, and we help to find folks and place them on board. So anybody out here in the nonprofit world, so like we have a few. If you're looking for some board members, right, or you want to be on the board of a nonprofit, you can reach out to me. You can just DM me, Facebook, Instagram, either one. We'll make it easy for you to get in touch with us. The NIA Center, just shout out the mics, 5 mics from the NIA Center.
That's right.
Let me just give for those that are just joining in, we thank you for joining. It's really been an awesome conversation so far. We're talking with Yvonne Malaika Orr on ALLVERSE Thursdays. ALLVERSE Thursdays is really a place where we come together and we share artistry and purpose combined in conversation and dope verses, right? And so you'll hear about their journey as well as you'll hear some of their art, or they share their story or their stories, right? You can follow the NIA Center on Twitch, right? You can twitch.tv/NIA Center. You can follow us on Facebook, or you can follow us on YouTube. Either place, we appreciate your support. Without your support, we aren't able to continue to bring this awesome programming to you like we have been. I think this is the 13th episode so far. So we're really excited because every week, somehow it just gets better and better. And so shout out to all the Whitney Young Dolphins. We both alumni of Whitney Young High School. Excited to be here. Really a founding place. And what's interesting about that place is that many of us have still kept a tight bond over these many years. And so
Yes.
they really did a special thing when they brought folks together from all over the city, of all different walks of life, that are still able to be connected this many years later. So shout out to Whitney Young for that. At the same time, this new book, I Am Healing. So this is part 2 of a series. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's a 5-part series. It's actually called the Soul Journer series. Um, a lot of people say because of my rawness over the years, and just, that hustle is real. So I get called Sojourner a lot, or Harriet. I've played both of them in plays before as well. And so this is really about bearing my soul. And it is the play on being Sojourner. So it's the soul journey. And it is a series of discovery, I will say. I thought it would come from some of the more darker places. And so I'm actually starting backwards. So the first one was I Am Light. This one is I Am Healing. And then the other 3 go all the way through those cycles. I am a practicing Yoruba priestess. My heads, my mama, so to speak, are Oshun and Oya. And so I'm naturally predestined to transition. And transition is many different things. It's not lost on me that my dad's side of the family, they're from New Orleans. So that Santeria, that mix, all of that is embedded in me. And we will get to I Am Death, because I think if people had a different outlook on transition, there are times where we need to bury some things, and there are times where we need to celebrate the death of different cycles in our life, relationships, whatever they are. And there is a healthier way to muddle our way through the darkness back into the light. So that's what the collective series is about, and will be released over the course of the next 1 to 2 years, if not a shorter time frame. So in the past year, I set a goal to do 5 books. So this is technically my 4th book within that past year and a half. I did a couple of anthologies, Becoming Women of Wisdom, Release Your Fear. I've been featured in lots of anthologies over the years, and just never really think to promote myself. And a lot of women, particularly Black women, we have a hard time giving our own, cheer up for ourselves. And so that's what I'm on this next half century of my life. I think I am fabulously loving being over 50, and very excited about what else I can be doing and contributing. And I'm trying to do it all. I'm going zip lining. I'm doing everything. Everything. When world opens, I am out there.
That's a wonderful testimony. You mentioned around the cheering you and not being willing to cheer you before. What was it that helped you to flip that switch? To
being
overcome
spiritually selfish.
Spiritually
selfish. I had to get very linear and very focused on my daily meditation, but I got good, close and personal with God and my ancestors. And it settled me. It settled me into how to dispel my anger properly. I couldn't even really deal with a George Floyd and the anger behind that, because 2 weeks later, my dad died, and he had just gotten out. And 2 weeks prior to George Floyd's murder, we were celebrating the anniversary, the 35th anniversary of the bombing on MOVE headquarters, where my sister and 10 other people were burned alive, literally trying to come out the house and being shot back into the house. But then a few months after, we're celebrating the release of the movie 40 Years and a Prisoner that Mike Africa Jr. and Tommy Oliver who's the executive producer, did. So it was so many highs and lows, and a pandemic at that. You know, I got 2 jobs, lost 2 jobs. It's too much. So in all of that, I got to heal, and I have to do it from a spiritual place.
Y'all clip that. Clip that. Spiritual self has got to heal from a spiritual place. Would you mind taking a question from the audience?
Sure.
Okay, we have a question from T.F. Smith. What barriers did you have to break through to write books, knowing nobody may read them?
It was never about whether or not somebody reads them. It was, if I don't share, then I'm snuffing my gift. Mm-hmm. I've had 2 major strokes in my life, 2011 and 2017. 2017, so severe that I had to learn how to tie my shoes. There's notes all over the house with, you know, turn off the stove and different things like that. Reforming my words even. And probably over 20 what's called TIAs in between, transient ischemic attacks. And so I felt like, after being told you're not supposed to be here, I need to do more with my art, because it was the gift of writing, the gift of dance that helped me bounce back in the way that I did, so that I am, you know, unencumbered. I can move, I can do whatever. You can hear me speak. I'm blessed. Alongside with that, 2 bouts of breast cancer. So 2-time survivor. The day before my book came out in 2019, I was turning 50 and I had my last chemo treatment. That's a testimony. That's something having nothing to do with the power of my parents and their revolutionary path. That's just something that, you know, we people do. We're resilient. And how do we tap into that resiliency to just keep going? I don't even have time to falter. I don't have time, because I'm trying to get whatever it is that I feel like I want to get out of this world and make a contribution back to it. So that's how I recover.
Ooh.
I know, Mark. I know it's like the first time you hear some of this, like, wait a minute.
I mean, I'm just grateful. I mean, that's what comes to me in this moment, just grateful. 2 strokes, and I'm seeing here you moving, you're reciting verses from the top of from your head, and you're saying them with all of the diction and enunciation. 2 bouts of breast. I mean, like whoever said earlier something about the tea. Yeah, there's a tea, but it ain't talking about gossip. We're talking about testimony and triumph. Who knew? Who knew? The Nia Center said we use our gifts because they're divinely given. Yeah, a few knew. But see, Yvonne, and here's why I want to applaud you and continue to encourage you, right? What you're doing tonight is creating a space for people to do the same in their life. Right now, they may not have had the story about the move. That might not have been
put your mama's comment
on details. I actually will. They may not have the same details, but we all have some things that we go through which seem almost impossible, if not improbable, for us to overcome. And you sharing, and that's why we have ALLVERSE Thursdays, for people to share their journey, because somebody listening may feel like there's hope. There's a space for me to heal. There's a space for me to forgive. There's a space for me to overcome, right? And by you sharing it so generously, right, it allows other people. There's plenty of other people that got stuff. I know some folks who've had strokes that want nobody to know they've had strokes, right? The release of writing is more valuable than how many people may read it. Yeah, we absolutely. Your gifts are divine. They are divine. Kenny's TV, thank you. Always on the move. I love that.
That's right, on the move.
Literally, figuratively, always on the move. And yeah, this is Mama Christmas. Camino Bell was talking about you earlier, Mama. He was in the chat. He said you were strict as. My mama told me I had a potty mouth, so I'm
HE double hockey sticks. You do have a potty mouth. She's right. Mama's right about everything.
Is there anything too hard for God?
Yeah, nothing.
That's an easy question.
Nothing.
Sonia Wolf, you remember Sonia from Whitney Young? Another one.
Yeah.
Another one. Yeah. Welcome back, Kenny's TV and Big Wolfie. Hey, Twinkles, thanks for the follow. Tiffany breaking barriers long. Man, I love these names that folks have.
Twinkles is Freddie.
Who? Twinkles is Freddie?
Twinkles is, yes.
Oh, Freddie, what's up? Black women are so very magical. Freddie Meeks, man, but we all had some great times. No, we're not putting potty. Oh, get that off the screen. I'm not potty mouth. I don't even know what that means in 51. I'm like, I just curse sometimes. When I was talking to Jeff Beasley the other day, he was like, didn't you just share with me that you was ordained as a minister? Did you saying this? How does that work? And you know what? That gets to the story that what you were talking about earlier.
God knows my heart.
God knows my heart, right? And it was before because I was like, if I curse, then I can't say I'm a minister because then people are going to be like, what kind of minister is that? You know what I'm saying? Versus I'm not looking to be anything but of service to God. And even in my shortcomings or if I miss the mark, if I go astray, I'm still who I am. I'm still a gifted divine, a person having a divine experience, and I still get to show up that way. And denying that for those 40 years or 40 plus years really almost killed me. So when you talk about spiritually selfish, it is absolutely necessary. I'm curious, Mark, what were you going to say? I don't even know what the statement was today. I don't even know what the statement was.
Right. Hey, Brianna.
Jones, what's up? So tell us a little bit more about I Am Healing. Did you publish this book? Hold on.
Yes, self-published.
She says she needs to go. Blessings. Thank you for sharing. We appreciate you being here. So you self-published?
Self-published. It's just cheaper that way. And then I have control.
Okay. Talk just a little bit about that process. So you can just, because many folks might be thinking about, hey, they've got something they want to share, but don't know how to do it.
So I help people publish their books. Amazon has a great platform, Kindle Direct Publishing. And, if you don't even have the format for it, they'll give you a template for it, very easy. And you just upload your book, put in the particulars, they assign the ISBN number, everything is taken care of, press submit, you're good to go. Boom, out comes a nice little paperback book.
Awesome. So Amazon, y'all can find I Am Healing by Yvonne Malaika Orr, the Sojourner series. I'm really excited to have you on tonight. We've had a lot of things that we've covered in 50 minutes, right? A lot of things that we've covered in 50 minutes. And, you basically just took over my show, Yvonne, and that's okay. You get to do that.
You got mixed up. I'm used to it. You get mixed up and all of that. Right, Mama?
Oh, I love it. So is there any other projects that you have going on that you want people to know about?
Your Life is a new project. It's a new venture. It's obviously a play on my initials, but it's really intended for people to get clear in a different way about what your life means, what it means to others, how it impacts others. What are you doing professionally? Are you like, a widget? What's happening here? And to set people straight. Stephen, he's one of my clients. He's in here. Just talking through stuff that you don't necessarily want to talk to others about. Certified people. I am a certified community organizer, certified recovery counselor, certified peer-to-peer, certified social injustice adjudicator. So it's not for lack of training or education, but the ease and the comfort in getting through to your bonus time is what Your Life is about.
So would you say that you're still in the process of discovering you, or do you feel like you figured it out right now?
I definitely know who I am. I've known who I am for quite some time. I think I've stood in that. What this is the release of, for those that have lost both of their parents, it's just different. That's really all I can say. And it's the release of barriers. And I am 100% unleashed and comfortable in sharing. You want to know? I'll tell you. You want to know how I made it through? Let's talk about it.
Mm, mm. Your life, your life, your life in the sunshine. Absolutely. I love that sound. Great play on words. Great play on words. Amen. You know, I do feel that there's some relation that I can take with always knowing who I was. The difference is being able to act on it, right? And so what's interesting is for me at 51, like so many things are available to me that I just either gave up on or said it wasn't enough time or, I chose something different. I can't go that way. And that's just not true, right? It's just
not true.
True. Tiff, I love your awareness. Thank you, Tiffany. Hey, thanks for the follow at KMRA 3114. That's what I would say. That's what I would say. Unleash the barriers. Unleash the barriers. If we love that, absolutely. And the thing is that we also don't have to do it alone, right? We don't.
Look, I'm going to tell you something funny.
Okay. I told you to over my. Go ahead.
Right. It's okay. Just pandemic wise, gaining weight, whatever. Last year, I signed up for a bodybuilding contest. I have made it through the different rounds that I need to make it through. I don't know nothing about lifting weights, whatever. I was moving furniture. So I lifted furniture in my video. They loved it. I made it through. If I get through to the semifinals, I get $50,000 just to get through to the semifinals. So I'm doing some bodybuilding stuff. For what? I don't need to, but I want to get fit and I like money. So I'm going to make some money in the meantime. And many people after 50 have started, lifting weights. So we'll see what that transformation looks like. Bottom line is no barriers. There's no dream you've had that you deferred on your own choices that you can't bring back and have it come to fruition.
Absolutely. And sure, they hit it on the head, which we have to accept that we're worthy of those things that are available to us. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because we're divine beings, right? This whole thing was set up for us. It's set up for us, waiting for us to declare it, to just say this is what it's going to be. Like you said, you declared 5 years ago you were going to write these books, and they happened, right? And so the power of words, the power of declaration, the universe always says yes. I tell my clients this. The universe, it was designed that way. The universe was designed to meet the needs of us as these beings that are here on this planet, doing the things that we do as beings on this planet. So what are you asking the universe to say yes to? That becomes the question. What are you asking the universe to say yes to? Brianna says, go get that 50,000, girl. Yes, go after your dreams. Absolutely. A cat about town. We are deserving. Yes. Transformation. No barriers. No barriers, because back to what Cheryl said, we are worthy. We are worthy. Well, y'all, it is 8:58. We've had an awesome. I know that hour just went so fast. So this is ALLVERSE Thursdays, right? It's brought to you by the NIA Center, where we bring artistry and purpose together with dope verses and conversation. I don't know that you may have experienced a show quite like this, where you get to hear, this woman has been all across the world, several continents doing her art. We heard about her on Porgy Bess and Sesame Street, Electric Company, right? Whitney Young Dance Theater stage, all of those things. I had to put Whitney Young in there. But it is an honor to have you on the show. She's got a new book, I Am Healing, y'all. I Am Healing. Hey, if you are going to get a copy of the new book, put a heart in. Put a heart in the chat right now. I want to see hearts. Copy of the new book, I Am Healing. Let me put up where you can get it at. A copy of the new book. As a matter of fact, we're requesting not only do you buy one, but you buy one for somebody else. This is a spirit of abundance, right? Somebody needs to heal. I promise you. Somebody needs to heal from something, whether it be a physical, mental, emotional, dis-ease, discomfort. I'm telling you.
All of the proceeds go to help second chance citizens and reentry programs around workforce development. 100% of the proceeds.
Yes, Big Wolfie. Hey, we got several hearts coming up. Bert Allen, thank you. Yes.
Hey, Bert.
Brianna Jones, you're welcome. Yeah. Yes. Say that again about the proceeds. I Am Healing is the name of the book, y'all. I Am Healing. Available tonight, right now.
Yes. 100% of the proceeds go to help second chance citizens, our reentry programs under our nonprofit, as well as our workforce development program. The book sales from both my last book, Malika Soul, I Am Light, as well as Malika Soul, I Am Healing, all go to support those programs. And so far, we have helped 117 citizens, not only including my dad, but in the Chicagoland area and Midwest area, get reacclimated to jobs, get homes, as well as get connected with their families.
Wow. Wow. I told you she was a fabulous woman, fabulous artist, fabulous human being, the spirit of a revolutionary, right? She talked about her spiritual transformation, healing. I mean, this is miracles. This is what miracles look like. Do they happen in 2020, 17, 4? Yes, they do. She told us four miracles that happened in the last couple of years. So absolutely. So guess what? It's available to you too. If you're listening, we just want to take a moment. Yvonne, I'm gonna lean on you one more time as a priestess to take us. But we want to send some blessings of oneness and love and joy. Right? The Nia Center is a place that is about, Nia means purpose and intention. Right? It's a place where we come to uplift and provide, to engage, to educate, to inspire, to empower folks with being intentional and on purpose. Right? Because we know that in that, just like you said. I'm doing things because I said I was going to do them, and now I got the action behind it. I'm coaching and helping people. So if you got somebody you want to send a blessing to right now, just go ahead and put their name in the chat. Just put their name in the chat, and we'll give you a minute because we know there's a little bit of a delay. Put their name in the chat for folks that you want to send a blessing to. Now, for those that have not heard Sacred Space Sunday, if you haven't ever been to Sacred Space Sunday, it is an interfaith conversation we do every other Sunday here on the Nia Center channel, right here on this same channel, but we do it on Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern time. Now, I think this is really unique too, because you don't have to be of any particular tradition to participate. As a matter of fact, we don't want to convince or convert you. We want to share. We want to hear from you. We want to, at the end of the day, you're going to get insight because there'll be some awareness from what's shared. Then there'll be some application. We give you a tip every time we do Sacred Space Sunday. There is an application to have some results in your life. Which Yvonne was talking about earlier, unleash the barriers, because we know that there's some results that are available if we're willing to do the work. Blessings to Yvonne.
Back to you.
Yes, you'll be able to see the recording. You can check us out on Twitch or YouTube. The recording will be up tomorrow, or I think Facebook will let you go back and look at the replay. So with that being said, Yvonne, you have any last words before we close out in prayer?
I do want to let everyone know that your life is your 40 acres and a mule. You have no need to be anticipating or waiting on any reparations because you already have everything that you need right now because it's your life. That's that piece.
That piece. So thank you. For those that have joined us, we appreciate you. Mino, it's good to see you. If you're still on, man, I need to get in touch with you, man. It's been too long, man. We need to touch base, brothers.
Likewise.
Freddie, I can't believe it. Freddie, I don't think I've seen Freddie in 40 years. No, that's an exaggeration. It's an exaggeration. But Freddie, good to see you. Yes, we're grateful for you here. Lorraine Martin, the ancestor, we see you, Sam.
Lorna Marie Martin.
Thank you. Well, I'm telling you, reading is fundamental, and sometimes I just don't do it. I don't know how I skip them words up like that. Yes, this has been awesome. Yes, so your life, let me put it up back one more time before we close out. We feature Yvonne Malaika Orr tonight. You can contact her on social media at Your Life or through the website, yourlife.com. Order the book tonight. I Am Healing. Order it now. If you haven't done so, it just launched. We want to get 100 copies sold. And matter of fact, tell a friend, clip that. I Am Healing.
Thank you.
Tonight. Buy one and tell a friend to buy one too. With that said, I want to say thank you. We appreciate you. Love, oneness, and joy. And in the spirit of all that is able to keep us safe and whole, and all that is us that connects us individually and collectively, we want to say amen, and so it is.
And so it is. Ashe. Thank you, Mark. Thanks, everyone. Invite me out for readings. Get those bookings together. There's a booking form on the website.
Booking form on the website. Good night, Cheryl.
Good night, Cheryl. Love you.
I'm going to end the broadcast.